Well, good morning, guys. It's E here from Virginia Grace Living. So this morning we're just riding around on the golf cart, feeding the animals, doing our morning chore stuff. But I need to do a few things this morning, or this weekend really. I gotta pull up this tarp over here. It's over there. We'll drive by it in a second and look under there and see how that, see if it's killed off good. And then we're gonna go ahead and get that tilled up, and then we'll probably try and get some compost to work into that soil and get that ready for our pumpkins and sunflowers. Leave it. So these guys, I've got them turned around. I've had them going down the field, and now I'm working them back this way because they will be getting processed next weekend. So I'm trying to get them closer to the barn. That way we can do everything up there. The turkeys are moving back that way too. You can kind of see where they have worked the grass for us. So they're fertilizing that and cutting it at the same time. This one is the one we've been tarping off. As you can see, the wind has been kind of blowing it, but it kind of reveals to you that it's mostly killed off, I think. Under there. I'm gonna put this, cover it back up for a little bit. I do like these tarps. They do a good job of kind of preparing the area. If nothing else, it kind of lets you know where to till because it's well marked. That's our tarped off plot. Then we have the melons and cantaloupe and winter squash over there. This crazy looking grassy spot right here has got all of our squash, cucumbers, green beans, all that stuff. These are zucchini. I am starting to see some squash form here. So in here, these are our slick pick squash. So it won't be long. It'll be probably another week or so, and we'll start picking some squash, because this stuff seems to grow really quick once it starts putting out fruits. Cucumbers are starting to hit the trellis and start climbing up great. So that's exciting, as well as the green beans, as you can see. Also, where we planted those seeds in the last video, you can already see they're sprouting up here. These are some watermelon seeds that we have planted here. And so all along the rows, they're starting to pop up. And of course, I'm getting some grass growing in here too, but that's the nature of it. Once these are really well sprouted up, I'll come in again with the tiller and try and really thin in between the rows and try and cultivate some of the weeds out. But this is my first year growing out here, so I'm working with, you know, virgin ground, I guess you could say. And so it's going to be a process over the years to try and work some of these weeds and grass out of the garden. But we're not gonna let perfection get in the way of progress. So it's okay to have a couple weeds here and there, just don't let them overtake everything. Some of the cantaloupes are actually, that we planted last week, are starting to put on some blooms too, so that's a good sign. They're looking healthy. And then our potatoes, I'm hoping that these are going to be a good, give us a good crop. They look really healthy, lush and green. I didn't get around to hilling them as much as I wanted to, so hopefully that doesn't affect our overall crop too much. But if there's any indication that what's below the soil is anything like what's above the soil, then it should be it should be good. While we're out here, these are our tomatoes. I need to run another Florida weave, a couple more string strands here to tidy these up. They are growing just crazy fast, and I've got a lot of tomatoes coming on, so I'm really excited about our tomato crop this year. I think it's going to be great. Lots of different varieties here, and then this whole entire row, this is my first year really growing this many determinate hybrids right here. So this will be really, hopefully, a great production row in order to have a lot of canning tomatoes. Then these two rows right here are indeterminates, meaning they just keep growing. A determinate will grow to a certain height and then kind of stop. It's more of a bushy type of tomato. It's a certain height, then they stop, and then they put on most of their crop at once, and so you can get a big crop all at once. It's really good for canning and stuff. As where your indeterminates are going to kind of keep growing fruit throughout the season, and they get really tall and vine out. It's different, different things. Some people like determinants more, some people like indeterminates. I like to have a little bit of both to just kind of have a full season where we have production all season. But you can already see, so this is, I think, let's see, what is this one? This one is a Rutgers. So this one's actually an indeterminate here. This is a indeterminate heirloom. So this one was just on the end of the row, but the rest of these are determinate hybrids. So they're all really doing well, loading up with tomatoes, as you can see, all throughout this row. Lots of blooms and lots of small fruits forming. And then I got some big slicers here that are starting to grow, so that'll be nice. Nothing beats the flavor of an heirloom tomato. So these are some Cherokee purples that are getting big already, and it's just one of my favorite things to grow are tomatoes. I'm gonna go grab that tomato twine, and I'm gonna run another strand of that Florida weave on here. So if you haven't seen it before, I've done a couple videos on it, but in this video I'll show you kind of again how I reapply that weave. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and tie it up about another 5 to 6 inches from the last strand, and we're going to go in between our plants. Try and grab some of the bigger branches that are hanging out. So big thing is keeping it tight and going through and grabbing branches that you need to be supported in there. So we're going to do the other row again, and I think that will show you a little better view just because of the lighting on that row. All right, let's take a look under this tarp real quick. Get this thing pulled up. So as you can see, it actually does a pretty good job of killing off what's underneath it, especially when we've had a lot of sunny days lately. So some of this stuff is actually pretty crispy. You can kind of hear some of it crisping. So what we're going to go ahead and do is start tilling up in here. We'll probably recover it after it's tilled. We'll kick up a bunch of weed seed and stuff as we're tilling around in here. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this tilled, covered it back up, and then some point in time in the near future I'm gonna add some compost and till that in as well. All right, well, that's plot number 4 tilled in there. So I'm gonna cover it back up though. I'm not ready to plant anything in there yet. So hopefully the soil seems fairly a little bit damp. So any weed seeds that may be in there hopefully have enough moisture to germinate under that black tarp and kind of terminate themselves, so that I don't have to worry so much about weeds coming back up. I mean, you're gonna battle weeds no matter what, but hopefully that helps a little bit. So I got my tarp covering the plot that we just tilled up back. I'm gonna let that kind of just rest like that and finish breaking down some of those roots hopefully, and any other weeds that might want to come up, and that's it. So really guys, that's all I have for this video today. I know it wasn't a whole lot to it, but just trying to keep you guys along for the ride as I do things in the garden. I never really know what maybe is something that will be helpful to you or not, so I try to share the most of what I do. But if you had any questions, go ahead and leave a question in the comment section and I'll be happy to reply to it. Otherwise, thanks for watching guys, and God bless.